Hello everyone, welcome to Easy Explanation. So today I am going to start a new playlist, or I am going to start a new subject, that is e-governance. Okay, so this is one of the important subjects. So this subject is required in bachelor's as well as master's. Okay, so this is required in bachelor's as well as master's, and not many videos or not many books has been written in this topic or in this subject, but this is one of the most important subject that we have to study. So I'm going to create a new playlist in my channel in the name of e-governance. Okay, so you can go there and you can find my videos. So I'll be uploading all the videos related to my chapters, and at the end I'm going to discuss various case studies. Okay, case studies, and also I have been uploading some videos on project that has been done in e-governance, so you can go and check that also. Fine. So let's start without any delay. So let's start with our first chapter, we can say, or with the introduction part. So first topic is, okay, that is e-governance. E-governance, which is the introduction part, we can say. Okay. So as the name says, e-governance, so it consists of two parts, that is electronic and governance. Okay, so it is nothing but we can say that e-governance is the use of IT. Okay, you can say e-governance is the use of IT, or you can say information and communication technology. ICT means information and communication technology, to provide the governmental service, governmental, governmental services to general public or citizens, we can say. Okay, so I hope you got this. So it means that if you tell e-governance, so it is nothing but all the governmental related services, okay, so that is provided to citizen with the help of IT or ICT. Okay, so IT means information technology and ICT means information and communication technology. So it means that by using internet, okay, your electronic gadgets, etc., we can get all the governmental services. Okay, so let me give you a real world example. So till today, if you want to get your citizenship, okay, if you want to get your citizenship, or you can say your license, so what you have to do, you have to go to the offices of government, related government office, or you want to get your birth certificate, death certificate of someone. So what you do, you go to the ward, you know, the offices, the governmental offices, and then you have to wait in queue, and finally the work is done. Okay, so imagine all these work, okay, all these work can be done online. So with the help of your mobile phone or your laptop, with the help of internet, you can get your birth certificate, you can get the death certificate, you can get your citizenship, you can get your license. Fine. So this is nothing but e-governance. Okay, so this e-governance has been started, already has been started in developed country. So in developed country, they have already implemented these services, and in developing countries, we are still in the phase of developing, of installing, or of using this e-governance. Fine. So I hope you got the overview of what is e-governance. So let's discuss in detail. So let me write some keywords for you, so that you can, it will be easy for you to prepare an exam. So we can say that it comprise of process in delivering of services to public or citizen electronically. Fine. So we can also say that it involves in collaborating with business partner. Let me use another pen. Business partner of the government by conducting electronic transaction with them. Okay, so why I'm writing this theoretical parts? Because some of the students, they need to take the notes for exam. Okay, so you can write these points, and as I explained initially, so in that way you can understand this. Okay, so in basic language you can say that here the government, the government, it will interact with the public. Okay, it interact with the public with the help of electronic means, we can say. Okay, fine. So as you do online shopping, online, you buy something online, in the same way, imagine you can access all the government services online. Fine. So it will be so easy for the citizens, but still there are some pros and cons, and still something is missing in installing all the services. So we'll study all these in later chapters. So let's go to one of the important part, that is, okay, so there is always in e-governance, we can say that there is always interaction between. So who all interacts? Okay, who all can interact? So as I told you, a government interacts with the citizen. So in same way, who all can interact with this? So first number, government and citizen. Okay, so again this can be both way. Both way means either it can be G2C. G2C means government to citizen, or it can be C2G. So it means citizen to government. Fine. Similarly, we have government and business. Okay, government and business. So again it can be G2B, or government to business, or B2G, that is business to government. And third can be internal government, that is government to government. Okay, that is G2G. Fine. So this comes under the type of the e-governance, the type of the e-governance. So this topic I'll be discussing in next chapter. I think this is in chapter 2. So I'll be discussing this in very detail. I'll make a very detailed video of this. So till now, just remember the types of interaction. They can be of 3 types. Okay. So how can this happen? Okay, how can the citizens can participate, or we can improve the government services? So of course, if it is electronic, so we need all the people to participate through mail and internet. Okay, mail and internet and electronic gadgets. Okay, so one of the basic requirement that is needed for implementation of e-governance is every citizen should have access to good internet. They should have electronic gadget. All should be literate, or all should be all should have that much knowledge to use the services using the internet and electronic gadget. Then only we can implement e-governance throughout our country. Okay, so it is like e-governance, we cannot say it is just preparing a website. It is more than that. Okay, it is more than just preparing a website. So some of the tools, so this is one of the important question that has been asked, that is always asked in exam, and all the students get confused. So we can say that the IT tools that are used, what are the IT tools that are used in the implementation, or we can say in e-governance. Okay, so let me write some IT tools for you, so don't get confused. So some of the IT tools can be internet. Okay, same we can have a website, internet website, we can say online websites we have. Okay, so that publishing some information and all. So we can also have email. Okay, we can have intranet for this. Next we can have SMS connectivity. Fine, so these are some of the IT tools, and more other tools you can use. Any tool that include information and technology, that comes under the IT tool. Fine. So why we need this e-governance, what are some of the issues, so what are the types of e-governance, so all these I'll be discussing in next video. So next video I'll cover why e-governance, that is importance of e-governance, types that I discussed. Okay, 5 types: G2G, G2C, C2G, G2B and B2G. And next one is the issues that we are facing in e-governance. Okay, so there is a topical digital divide, so I'll be discussing all these very slowly. So I hope you understood this concept. Okay, so please watch the videos, like, share and subscribe my channel, and thank you and stay safe.